I'm delighted to say that I've been extremely privileged to be here at the House of Parliament, and I'm holding a reception kindly hosted by Derek Thomas, the MP.
We're trying to address the fact that there are people with ulcers, open wounds, lower limb conditions, which is being undiagnosed when it's diagnosed, not properly treated as it should be. And as a result, enormous numbers of people are not living the lives they deserve to be able to live. And pressure on the NHS and social care is enormous. So we've got to address it, and we're shining a light on it today.
Wound care affects so many different people, but because it's not a really sexy, high-profile subject, lots of people don't know as much about it as they should. So it's important that we start to get the general public to understand the impact a chronic wound can have on a patient's life. They can be really devastating, affecting a patient's social circumstances, affecting their quality of life, and affecting their finances as well.
The event is called Enough is Enough, and it really has got to address the huge problem that we're currently facing.
Despite the numbers of patients who suffer from difficult to heal or chronic wounds, the interest in and support of and provision of care for those patients is sadly lacking.
The number of patients who have this is quite significant. Management of this actually results in expenditure of somewhere between 3 to 4% of the NHS budget. These patients not only have significant symptoms, but may well, with their leg ulceration, have issues with odour, problems with immobility, social isolation and depression.
Lots of chronic wounds get underdiagnosed and get missed, and the patients just don't present themselves. They have a bad experience with trying to discuss their wounds, and they suffer in silence.
We're here to launch a manifesto of 6 simple steps that we hope will improve patient care.
1. To establish an NHS lower limb and leg ulcer related condition strategy that can include chronic wounds as well. To create a lower limb and leg ulcer related conditions task force. To establish a lower limb and leg ulcer related conditions registry. To work smarter in the community and with telemedicine. To increase public awareness and education. And finally, to increase research and innovation.
To make the manifesto work, we've got to engage with MPs, we've got to engage with decision makers. So we're here to raise awareness of the problems people with lower limb have.
It's really important that we undertake the strategy development with all parties. So that means a task force needs to be set up. So that includes members from all across the multidisciplinary team. But specifically, we need to think along the lines as well of involving the wider groups, so industry, research partners. We need to be thinking about lots of organisations that need to come together in order to build that task force.
Yeah, I guess our wish is that MPs take this as a serious healthcare issue as it is. It's larger than both obesity and diabetes. So to take this seriously for action from a governmental point of view for the NHS to focus and move this forward for the better health of lower limb patients.
Well, I think this is a pivotal time and a great opportunity for a multidisciplinary approach to the topic of lower limb condition. Having specialists in healthcare professions together with the industry and the community care and the charitable sector is a great opportunity to join our efforts towards this massive challenge.
We need to involve patients and members in research and innovation in the wound healing community. Wound care and wound healing is a fascinating field of medical knowledge that is growing. The number of treatments available to the patients is growing, and we need to continue this. We need to hear patients' stories because they want to be part of this ongoing development in order to be able to give back to the medical community and help other patients in getting better and improving their health-related quality of life.
It's very important that MPs are aware that there is a hidden epidemic. Older people, most often, who have lower limb and leg ulcer-related conditions, who are hidden away, isolated, and they are their constituents. It's very important that they understand the extent of the issue and also how they can possibly be a part of the solution in terms of helping to ensure the health services are more joined up around the patient.
And what we're trying to do is say to the government, firstly, have a strategy for these conditions, but also have a task force, set up a task force to really wrestle with where is it really good, where is treatment really good, how can we learn from that and make sure that's available to everybody wherever you might live.
Because there is disparity in care. Wherever you are, it's a postcode lottery. And I feel we should have a voice and make sure that MPs are aware of what is actually happening today.
Everybody needs to have an equal chance to get their wounds healed and to have good wound care. And that's perfectly possible within this country. So we're asking MPs to go back to their constituencies, find out what leg health services that there are in their constituencies and services for general wound care, and make sure that everything there is in place so that the patients get everything that they need. And to inquire, maybe they've got a leg club within their constituency. That's something that perhaps they can go and visit. Join in and participate in this manifesto to make sure that the postcode lottery in wound care is over.